arriving Fort Lauderdale to hear an amazing story from a girl named Brittany, something you'll never forget.
My addiction? I grew up, just me and my mom. I had a good childhood, and I just got into the wrong group of friends, to be honest. I just wanted to escape. I didn't know my real dad, and I had my stepdad and my sister around, and I just kind of felt like an outsider. It was always just me and my mom, and they came in the picture, so I never wanted to be home. And I was always with my friends, experimenting with pills, and it was like a business decision. Like, heroin is cheaper, and it gives you the same effect, if not better. So why wouldn't you switch to that? And it just went downhill from there. Like, I never thought that I would ever go so low, and I would ever be such a crappy person, stealing from my family, lying to them. It got me to the point where I got jumped and raped in Detroit on the side of the road in broad daylight. And the first thing I thought of when I came to was I need to get high. I started living in an abandoned house in Detroit. And at the time, my mindset was like, this is convenient. Why didn't I do this before? You know, it's right there. I let my dealer take my car. He gives me whatever I want. And, but I was still miserable. You know, I still had to deal with me. So I tried getting sober in California, in Seattle. I was always running. I always thought, like, okay, new environment, new people, and I'll be fine. And sometimes that is a good thing, definitely. But for me, I was running from myself. And so I went all over the country. And, you know, I came to South Florida, and that's when I finally got a real taste of recovery. Don't get me wrong, like, I got my first taste of recovery here, but I wanted to fix my own program. So, like, I'll work steps 1, 2, and 3, but, like, 4, I'm not doing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do the work. I just was like a person in a chair at a meeting. Like, I didn't do anything. I didn't work recovery. So I ended up being homeless down here in South Florida. And the last time I used, I was homeless in my car. You know, I'm sitting by the ocean and I'm crying because I don't want to get high anymore, crying because I'm dope sick, crying because I can't find a vein, crying because I want to go home. I want my mom. I just want things to be better. You know, I want peace. That's the one thing I've always wanted, was peace. I think that was when I finally realized that I can't do this anymore. I'm either going to die or I'm going to live. Like, I need to make a decision right now. What do I want with my life? This isn't me. I grew up in a good neighborhood, a good family, had amazing grades, played sports. Like, this isn't my life right now. I'm a smart girl. And, you know, sitting there and I mean, like, blood everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it was disgusting. And that was my bottom. I was done. I had warrants from when I overdosed, and they found drugs on me. And I had just ran from it. I didn't want to go to jail. Listen, I can't last in jail at all. And I went back home, and I'm sitting in front of the judge, and she said, you know, you're going to prison for 4 years. And I dropped to my knees, and I cried, and I prayed, and I begged, and I said, please give me one more chance. And she just happened to be in recovery. And she said, listen, I'm going to give you one more shot. And take it and do what you want with it, but, like, I want to see you live. And so I did. I got sober back home in Detroit. Very ironic, because that's where it all started, and it's very hard to get sober back home sometimes. But I wanted it. You know, I'd always ran from myself, and it just so happened I came back to the same spot, and I wanted it. I wanted recovery. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to find peace. You know, I started working a program and really getting involved. I was involved in nonprofits. I educated high school students. I would go there at least once a week. You know, I spoke in front of 1,000 people, politicians, lawyers, judges in Michigan, educating them, telling my story, so people are aware, like, this happens everywhere. You know, it's not just, you know, like the junkie sitting on the side of the road. Like, that's where our addiction takes us, but that's not where I started, and that's not where it's going to end either. You know, I I did everything, you know, I did everything that they told me to. Every suggestion that I could take, I took. And I went and I filed a motion to see my judge. And I said, can I please move back to South Florida? I have a job opportunity there, working in treatment and giving back. She said, I'm letting you off probation 3 years early, just because all the work she saw that I was doing. And after facing 4 years in prison to now being in South Florida, working in treatment, you know, I have girls that look up to me, women that I help daily, you know, and I show up for things now. And that's something that I could never say in a million years. Recovery is peace and serenity and giving back. And it's my life. You know, if I didn't have recovery, I wouldn't be standing here in front of you today. It's given me my life back. The real Brittany is back. You know, I finally found out who I am. I never knew who I was. I was a chameleon. And I blended in with everybody and I did what everybody else wanted. But recovery has given me my life back and my identity. You know, I finally know who I am.
Addiction and substance use disorder has no respect of socioeconomic backgrounds, doesn't respect creed, color, religion. Every race is affected. Every part of our country, from affluent communities to poor communities, everyone is affected. And we wanted to show the other side of this, how people recover, can overcome their addiction and can recover. And not only recover, but live a life unlike they've ever experienced before, beyond their wildest dreams. And Brittany is one of those people. From the streets of Detroit, finding her way, initially hesitant, but finding her way into recovery through an amazing program in South Florida. She's not only living a life of recovery, but she's giving back. And we'll continue to show you these amazing stories. People overcoming their addiction, finding their recovery. We'll see you on the next episode of On the Road to Recovery. I'm Michael DeLeon.